You can't pass the SHRM exam if you don't know what the question is really testing. That's why understanding which part of the basket a question is being taken from is so important. So this video is going to help you identify exactly which competency each question is being pulled from. Let's go. I'm Angela Murray, SHRM SCP, SPHR, and your favorite HR coach. I want to give a shout out to 0982 Mary Lou because they asked, could you explain how can we identify the competency that is being used or asked to answer the SHRM question? That is a great question. I can't believe I never even thought of making a video about that already. So I really appreciate this topic. Now, specifically, they asked about the competencies, not the knowledge domain. So that's what we're going to stick to, identifying the competency. Because every question on the exam is tied to the basket. But most test takers don't realize this. So you waste a lot of time over analyzing when the real key is spotting the competency before you even look at the answer choices. SHRM questions follow a pattern. If you know how to read the question correctly, then you will immediately know what SHRM wants from you and you won't have to guess. I'm going to show you how to break the question down to identify the competency fast. I'm going to give you keywords that give the competency away, and I'm going to help you to avoid falling for answers that might sound right, but they aren't. So this is how you start to answer with confidence. Every question gives away 3 major clues. Clue number 1 is asking yourself, what role is HR taking in this scenario? If HR is an advisor to leadership, then the competency is leadership. If HR is a data analyst, then it is analytical aptitude. If they're a facilitator or mediator, then it's relationship management. If they are a moral steward, then it is ethical practice. Now, I'm not going to go through all of them, but I will leave a link to the note sheet to all of them in the description box. Number 2, what type of action is HR taking? If they are influencing decisions, it's leadership. If they are analyzing trends or using metrics, it's analytical aptitude. If they're balancing business needs, it's business acumen. If they are consulting, then it's consultation. If they are managing diversity, then it is global mindset. Okay, clue number 3. Look for keywords hidden in the question. SHRM hides these competencies clues in the wording. So if you see persuade or influence or executive buy-in, they're testing leadership. If you see mediation or coaching or resolving conflict, they're testing relationship management. If you see compliance or something about integrity or legal risk, they're testing ethical practice. Metrics, data, ROIs, analytical trends, analytical aptitude. Advising leadership or change management, they're testing consultation. If the question asks what HR should do first, then they're testing whether you know the correct sequence of steps within that competency. Now let's apply this to an actual exam style question. Question number 1 says, an HR director is helping senior leadership develop a talent strategy for a new international expansion. Now what competency is being tested? Let's break it down. Helping senior leadership. That sounds like leadership and navigation. Talent strategy. It sounds like HR strategy, which isn't a competency. It's a knowledge domain. International expansion. Global mindset. Global mindset is the competency being tested because the focus of the question is the international expansion. The reason a problem exists is because of the expansion, and the HR leader is responding by advising a workforce strategy across the different cultures. Next question. An employer reports unethical behavior by senior manager. What competency is being tested? Unethical behavior. That obviously comes from ethical practice. Senior manager maybe involves leadership, but the key issue is compliance. The answer is ethical practice. That is the focus because the reason the problem exists is because of the manager's unethical behavior. That prompts HR intervention and HR needs to handle a compliance issue. By now, you should be able to spot the competencies pretty easily if you were paying attention. But you need to lock this in. So you need a study method that forces your brain to think this way every single time. I suggest using the 3-question competency check. When you're answering a SHRM question, ask yourself these 3 things. What is HR's role in this situation? Is it the consultant or the executive, or are they the leader? What is HR actually doing? Are they enforcing or advising, or are they influencing? What's the strategic focus? Is it leadership or compliance, or is it metrics or data? If you train yourself to think like this on every question, you can spot the competencies pretty easily. SHRM doesn't want you to just know HR. They want you to think like a strategic business leader. So if you can master this competency identification, you can eliminate confusion when the questions are tricky. You can pick the best answers faster, and you can stop falling for the answers that sound right, but they just really aren't because you're looking at the wrong competency. And that's going to help you increase your score even if you don't study more. So now that you know how to spot the competencies, then you just need to let's test it out in the comments. Put in the comments one of your hardest SHRM questions and tell me which competency you think that question is coming from. If you get it right, I will tell you. If you don't get it right, I will break it down in the comments for you so that you can learn how to start spotting those competencies. This is a really important skill. This will actually separate failure and pass. Like, it is important to know what is being asked of you, what competency is being tested, so that when you are answering the questions, you are answering the right question. You're answering it in the right way. All right. And I know this week I was supposed to record the video about the answer traps, but I got this really good question in the comments, and I just thought that this is something that you need to implement immediately so that you can get your brain to start thinking this way. So I wanted to make sure I answered this question first, but next week I definitely am going to cover those answer traps. All right. But again, put your questions in the comments, and then I will try and break those down in the comments for you to tell you which competency is coming from. Or first, I want you to try to tell me which competency is coming from, and then I'll let you know if it's right or wrong. All right. I'll see you next week. Bye.